So obviously it's the UK's favourite time of year again. Love Island's back on. And of course, after Blue's comments towards Alima, everyone is bringing up the conversation again about why it is that black women struggle on Love Island. Mainly unambiguous, darker skinned women. Now, okay, I have a theory. Most people like to date people who they share similarities with, whether that be in terms of features or in terms of colorings, right? Remember when we look at people, so they like people who phenotypically look similar to them. Now remember, your phenotype is the whole way that you look, not your genetics. That's genotype. Phenotype is like saying I'm a small blonde woman. Because, well, I'm slim, I'm average height, and I am in fact blonde. Okay. So most people on the planet date people. I wrote notes. Let me put the notes down. I don't need the notes. I fought this for years. Right. Most people date people who phenotypically look similar to them. Yeah? So people who match their basic description. It's kind of like how a lot of the guys who I've dated are lighter skinned with a mixture of smaller and bigger features. Because, well, that's how I look. These are the people who are the most enamored by me. They look at me like the sun shines out of my ass. Crazy sentence, but yeah, exactly. Why? Is because I look like them. So, back to the show, enough about me. So when it comes down to it, if you put two pretty girls, let's say you have a white guy who has brown hair, yeah, brown hair, blue eyes, and like a peachy skin tone. You know, that typical white peachy skin tone. You know them people that are a few shades darker than me. Like, yeah, okay. You put that, it's recording, right? You put that kind of guy and you put a girl who she also has blue eyes, brown hair, her skin is peachy, and she's attractive, and then you put another girl, you make her ebony skinned, she has brown eyes, black hair, and she's also very attractive. He's going to pick the girl 9 times out of 10 who is closer to him, because people are looking for similarity. They love beauty, but they love similarity. They love what looks like them. The average person loves what represents them or a leveled up version of them. Why do you think that the kind of people who win the shows seem to be girls who, a lot of the time, for most seasons, it seems to be girls who represent more of the average person that just happen to look nice. So it's normally the girl who has been walked on or greatly betrayed through the show. It doesn't really go to the girl who is like a trailblazer. It's the girl who is walked on during the show 9 times out of 10. So not every single season, you know that. Yeah, it's that's literally it. People favor people who represent them. And so back to this anywho. People say that what he said was racist. What he said, yeah, what Blue said in that episode, upon first getting to talk to Alima after, the whole picking segment was over, was, "You're not my type on paper." No. Rude? Yes. Racist? No. It is not racist for someone to not want to date someone of a different race. It is racist for someone to... Racism comes from the reasons why that person wouldn't date that person. That you simply not being that person's type, yeah, that ain't racism. That's just you are not that person's type. That's simply that's simply it. He, like, Yeah, like people are allowed to like what they want as long as they're not making derogatory statements about the groups of people that they don't like, then nothing really matters. They're like, why can't these guys see? Why can't these guys see? Remember, the people who come on the show are good looking people who either work average jobs or who work in entertainment but are not very famous from doing so. Yeah, those are the kind of people who come on Love Island. Therefore, meaning that there's going to be more people who follow that dating structure of people who remind them of them. And mind you, even when people who date people who have different colorings to them, there's a good chance that there's still a bunch of features about them that remind them, of themselves. Some people will see it, some people won't see it. But yeah, I mean, when you look around, when I look around outside, I see a lot of dark-skinned people, dark-skinned black people who date other dark-skinned black people. I see a lot of light-skinned people who date other light-skinned people. I see a lot of Asian people who date other Asian people. And I see a lot of white people who date other white people. Yeah. So, yeah. And then whenever I see people who date someone who looks different to them color-wise, normally they have feature similarities. This is just what I have observed, both in terms of in real life, with others, with myself, and what I've observed in people that I don't know in person but see online. It just all keeps adding up. Yeah. So the same way people may want personality similarities, they may also want visual similarities. It's like, you know how people have that phenomena of like, people, the longer you spend dating someone, the more you start to look like them. No, it wasn't. No, it was always like that from the beginning. They always looked the same. It's just now that they're together long enough, you can, because the more you look at something, the more you catch the similarities and differences. So I noticed something about Alima, like she may have like, her and Blue, they actually have like a similar facial structure. Is that his real name? And they have like a similar like bottom third facial structure. It's in the smile, but like that may not be enough for him. Like these are like subconscious decisions that people make. But yeah, you can't just go around shouting racism, racism, racism. What happened? Because when real racist events happen, you know, you're left there looking like the boy or the girl who cried wolf because, you shouted it for everything. Yeah? These situations are not racist. They're not racist because they don't want to date this person who they feel looks so different to them. I don't know, maybe perhaps there are a lot of viewers at home who may be black that prefer white boys, and so they live through the girls on screen and get very disappointed when things don't work out for them. But then, like, if you perhaps, because there are a lot of people who, they have no trouble in their interracial dating, but there are a lot of people who do. These would be the cringy people online that you see shouting about divestment in them. I think that a lot of the people online who live vicariously through these people are people who they haven't had much success dating out, and so they are hoping that, living vicariously through the people they're seeing on screen, they're hoping that living vicariously through the people they're seeing on screen will somehow give them a boost of encouragement. And it's like, if you know you want to, because dating interracially is outside of the average slash the norm, right? So I don't understand why you would come on a show where you're only going to be interacting. I forgot how many people they cast per year. It's like, ain't it less than 50? Yeah, less than 50 no. Yeah. Thinking of the Bombshells and Casa Amor. Yeah, it's around like 50 or 60 people that are going to come through those doors. And since this is a heterosexual dating show, you're only going to be able to pick from 30 of those people. If you're on the show long enough, like from beginning to end, it will be a full 30. It's like, you have dating practices that are not of the norm. Why would you put yourself in this closed environment? The odds will not be in your favor. It's like, the further away your dating preferences, this is just in general now, the further away your dating preferences are from what you look like, the less likely you are to find love in an enclosed environment like a dating show. You are better off not going on the show. Yeah, people don't talk about this. Yeah. People don't talk about this stuff, like how it's not of the, go outside. Most people are dating people who look just like them. It's just our minds are so warped by the internet now. Don't get me wrong, interracial dating stories are a beautiful thing and all, but like, look outside. Look outside. Look outside. It's like people say, oh, it's racist to pair the two black people who start off the show together. Is it? When you think about how, okay, if most white people, if you think about how a lot of white people like to date other white people, or when they date outside of that, they date people who have characteristics that remind them of themselves as a white person. I don't think they're pairing them together out of racism. They're pairing them together because, like, hey, maybe the girl with the blonde hair and blue eyes would want to be paired with the guy with the blonde hair and blue eyes. Like, oh, the guy with the brown hair and brown eyes, he has no trouble dating the girl that has the brown hair and brown eyes. That's why. Oh my gosh, I'm really spitting. Yeah, that's why they have no trouble with this. They would be happy to be paired with someone who looks just like them. So they're thinking you would too. They are surprised to hear that you wouldn't actually. And that's it. Is there anything else I have to say? I have completely gone away from my notes. I haven't even, hold on. Let me actually see what I said now, because people love visual similarity. Yeah. Oh yeah, people say that, oh, we could avoid this in casting. No, you actually can't avoid this in casting. So I did a little bit of the form, but ultimately realized I didn't have the temperament for this kind of show. This is one form a couple years ago. Like, yeah, I realized I didn't have the temperament for this kind of show, so I left it. Right. Even if you get further down the questionnaire about your background and it says, this is just me paraphrasing because I don't think there's an actual question like this, but it says, would you be open to dating someone outside of your race? Even if someone checked yeah, that's would you be open. It's like asking, okay, would you be open to having, let's say you prefer chocolate ice cream, would you be open to having vanilla? Yeah, but if chocolate's available, I'm gonna pick the chocolate ice cream because I like chocolate more than vanilla. Really, my favorite is mint chocolate chip or cookies and cream. Those two, top tier. To all the people who say that mint ice cream tastes like toothpaste, you're very immature. Your taste buds are not developed. But anywho, yeah, there's no way to tell because all you've said is, yeah, would you? And you don't even know who they imagine. What do you want them to do? Put a specific question in there that says, oh, would you date a black woman if you're not black? Would you date a black woman as a white man? You want an unambiguous black woman? Is that it? Because they can't put a question in there like that. It would be strange. They'd have to put one in for everyone else. If not, it'll be charity work. You don't want to be charity work. You know you don't want to be charity work, man. Yeah, it's not racist. Anywho, that's all I have to say for now. I will probably be making a lot more videos on this topic in the future. But yeah, honestly, I love the topic of race, man. We could actually just talk forever. We could actually just talk forever about this, but yeah.